special meeting for, yeah, it was a presentation by Karen. She did a really good job. It was just informative, really, more than, if you've heard it before, you've probably, the only thing that was new was that they raised the business standard from a 1/2 foot to 1 foot. And that's the only thing, and that we're kind of under a crunch, so it needs to get done. And that's all I remember.
What'd you call her? Check. Yeah.
Unless there's an emergency, I think we're okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing's emergency. Geez, there's a lot tonight. Where's Chuck?
I'm covered.
He's covered.
I'm leaving.
Don't touch anything.
I won't.
Make it just quick.
Just trying to get on first.
You've still got 30 seconds. Go. Go, go. Give me one. You ready? All right. 6 p.m. I'd like to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, a reminder, please turn on your microphones and please turn off your cell phones. You have a roll call, Andrea?
Mayor Pro Tem Quinlan,
Here.
Counselor Anderson,
Here.
Counselor Dykes,
Here.
Counselor Smith.
Here.
Okay, item 3, approval of minutes. Are there any corrections? If not, they stand approved as submitted. Visitors and delegation. Lance.
I'll go ahead. I think this is on. Was it on before, Andrew?
I don't think so. I think it's all
There
there.
it is. All right. I thought we'd stand up because, as you can see, both of us are a little bigger than what that table could handle. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to Bill Wentworth. He is the chef that we hired for out at the course at Pettis Park's Restaurant and Lounge. Anyway, we went through a bunch of applications, did interviews, and Bill really won us over. He's got a lot of great ideas for the restaurant and lounge area. We felt that he would be the best fit for us moving forward with that, and we're very excited to get the kitchen up and running. And hopefully in the next couple weeks, we're able to start throwing some food out of there. And anyway, here's Bill, and he's here to answer any kind of questions you guys might have. And I'm also going to pass out a couple of menus that he has put together, just so you kind of have an idea of what will be on the menu when we get this thing started. So, go ahead, Bill.
I'm not real good at public speaking, but I'll do my best. When I was brought on, it was kind of a little bit after the fact, and I think that it has a lot of potential up there. I put together this small menu, mostly due to requests from people here in town.
Bill, could you use the mic
So-
just so
sorry,
that everyone
sorry.
can hear? Perfect.
Due to requests from people in town that I've met, I moved here in July with my wife who works at the hospital. I was planning on golfing myself and fishing and ended up finding a job. So I'm really excited about this new venture here. Like I said, there's a lot of potential there. And like I said, the menu, if you look at it, that's probably the third draft. So still taking suggestions and still might change a thing or two, but that's what I'm looking at so far.
Like the prices?
Well, the prices have to.
Everything's free here.
Well, it really depends upon the cost at the time, you know, market value as far as beef, pork, seafood and that type of thing. It changes every hour. So I wasn't gonna put up a price from last month when it's gonna change in December. So as we get closer to opening, we'll put prices in.
It looks like a good variety.
Yeah.
Chef, one of the questions that I have was, as far as the schedule, or is it right now breakfast, lunch, dinner, or just lunch and dinner?
Okay.
And your weekend schedule?
Okay, right now, as I see it, as we've discussed, we'll open with lunch and dinner. And then there's other projects after the first of the year that'll be going on out there. And as those get completed, we'll extend our hours to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. But when we open, it'll be lunch and dinner 7 days a week. My feeling is that if we try and do too much at one time, and then we have to back off of the hours due to projects, then we're defeating ourselves. So if we just hold off until the construction's done, or what is gonna be done, and then we'll add breakfast in.
Right.
Okay? What's that? Hope to see everybody out there.
All right. Thanks, Lance. No. Okay. Any other visitors that want to come forward and speak at this time? Deanna?
Good evening, everyone.
If you, again, state your name and your address,
My name is
please.
Deanna Mose. I live at 719 Ellsworth here in Brush, which is on the south side of the tracks, by the way. And first of all, I want to apologize to Andrea. She called me. I didn't know who you were, which means nothing, but you had caught me in a real bad time at that particular moment. I'm very upset with this deal at the railroad. Very upset, and I'm trying really hard not to be. But I feel like you have absolutely segregated the south side of the tracks. We have a hard enough time getting across the railroad. The track down there at Hospital Road is blocked continuously. When I worked at the police department years ago, they were to be on the tracks no longer than 10 minutes at a time. That was the law at that time. And that was a long time ago. I don't know what the law is now. But I don't think that they have the right to be blocking that crossing for hours and hours and hours. And then we come down here to the main street. Now, if you go up there and there's a train going, you sit there until that train has gone by. There's no way that you can back up. There's no way you can make a U-turn and go around. You have to sit there and sit there and sit there. Now, I've lived on the south side of the tracks since 1952, and I have, in all that time, have never felt so segregated and so discriminated against that I am now. We are elderly people. We have no idea how you're going to get emergency vehicles across there if we have an emergency and the crossings are blocked. And my husband has a heart condition. And what is going to happen if he has a heart attack or is in really dire need and the ambulance is sitting on this side of the track? They cannot go around. Anytime that we go around, we have to go at least 2 miles out of our way to go around. How many of you people living over here on the north side have to go 2 miles out of your way to go home? Not one.
Actually, I live on the south side.
Okay, so you have an idea.
I have a very good idea.
Yeah. And it's very, very sad that we have had this happen to us. And the thing I understand is because of the noise that the horns make. Like I said, I have lived here since 1952. I have not had at any time had the horn make so much noise that I could not stand it. And I live between the two crossings. Monty, you know where I live. I live between the two crossings. I live between Main Street or Clayton Street and Hospital Road. I get them both. I get them both when they honk. I have never, ever had a time where those horns were that bad that I couldn't stand to wait for a few minutes for it. Actually, I think to me, it was a very safe thing to have. But now, you've got this. Are you going to do that crossing down there too, so people can't go and go through the gates? That was another thing that somebody told me. Oh, they're doing it so people can't go through the gates. Are you going to do it on Hospital Road too? Is that the plan?
There is a plan for phase 2, which is addressing Hospital Road, but what direction that goes, we're not quite sure yet. There are different options there, but we just haven't got that far yet.
Well, I think it's very wrong what you've done to us over there. And another thing, I was told that there was a survey that was sent out among the people. I have yet to talk to anybody that answered a survey that said, do you want this done to your crossing? Nobody said that they got a survey. I sure didn't get one, and I live over there all the time. I go back and forth over that railroad crossing at least twice a day. So now I have to go, if it's blocked, and not only do I have to go 2 miles out of my way to come around east, if I go east, there's another crossing, and it's blocked. So then I have to turn around and go down to Hospital Road, and it's blocked. So then I have to go out to Bird's Corner to get back to my house. That's not right. You're not right. And you know, the south side is part of Brush. I know they have never ever believed it was part of Brush, but we do live in the city limits. We do pay our taxes, city taxes, sales tax, property taxes. And I feel like whatever you guys are doing, you're ruining my side of town. Absolutely ruining my side of town. So.
Okay, thanks for your input, Deanna.
I would just refer
Really?
that to staff, and we'll set that up for a discussion on one of our work sessions in the near future.
Please get back to me sometime, okay? I'd like to know.
Okay, is there anybody else that would like to come forward and speak? It's a time for visitors to, again, state your name and your address.
My name is Carolyn Hardy, and I live out at 621 Hospital Road. And the lady is not wrong. You never can pass and get across the tracks by the nursing home. And she is correct. You go back over here. By the time you get here, you're blocked. And there's been a few times that I've went clear out by Drovers, and there's trains across there, so you wait. So the lady is 100% right. And then another thing, she's not wrong about noise. They seem to have added a lot more noise to their horns, I'll tell you, even through the night. It's pretty bad.
Okay, thank you.
We can also investigate a little bit with the railroad. At one point, there was a discussion that they were looking at an additional, they call it a siding location, where they pull the trains off before they get into Brush, about putting one, between here and Hillrose in some manner. Not exactly sure where, but they had presented at a meeting I went to at CML not too long ago, that they were planning that in the future. which that would keep the trains stacking outside of town versus in the middle of town. Now, where that's going, I don't know at this point, but we can look into that.
All right. Let's move on to item 5A. We have a public hearing regarding the annexation of County Road 27, also known as Hospital Road. Karen. And at this time, we are opening the public hearing.
This has been a long time coming. We've been working on this for what seems like forever. And this goes way back to when the city and the county entered into an intergovernmental agreement together to address reconstruction of that portion of Hospital Road between Mill Street and I-76. And one of the conditions or terms within that IGA was that the city ultimately annex this portion of Hospital Road. As we saw a little over a month ago, because it is just the roadway that is being annexed, or the road right-of-way, we could not do it as any other municipally owned property annexation. We had to go through the full-blown process. And so at a prior meeting, council had accepted the petition, our own petition for annexation of that roadway. And then we have done the publication in the paper over the past 4 weeks as required to notify people of the pending annexation. In your packet this evening, you have 2 items for your consideration and action. The first is resolution number 2015-16. And this resolution sets out a bunch of findings of facts associated with this particular annexation. And these are all things required by state statute that need to be found and determined in order for us to report with the annexation. And it's things confirming that there is at least 1/6 contiguity of the piece being annexed with the existing city limits, that there's a community of interest between the city of Brush and the property, the interest to be annexed, that the area is urban or will be urbanized in the future, and that it is capable of being integrated with the rest of the city of Brush. And there's a number of other findings within that resolution. And then as part of our processes to achieve the annexation, we have an ordinance for your consideration. So staff is recommending that council approve the publication on first reading that ordinance that you listed as that. So any questions?
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Karen. Okay, any other public comment? Council discussion? Any questions? No?
I have a question, to do with the,
You come to the microphone again, please.
again, I am Carolyn Hardy, and I live out on 620 Hospital Road. And, we are speaking of the property on the corner there, just from me. Is that where we're at with this?
No, this is Hospital Road.
The road itself?
The road that comes into,
Okay, I'm here tonight for the, on the ambulance.
okay, that's
The next-
coming up.
Later. Okay,
That's coming up.
well, you're speaking of that, out in that area, I've never been to these meetings, so. I
Okay.
don't wanna get left out.
You're fine.
Okay,
Fine.
we're good.
Okay. Then I'll watch you.
Okay. Any council discussion? Okay. This time, I'd like to close the public hearing portion of this. And now if I can have a motion for this annexation.
Do you want a motion to approve resolution number 2015-16, a resolution making certain findings of fact regarding the proposed annexation of a parcel of land located in parts of southeast quarter of section 33 and southwest quarter of section 34, township 4 north, range 56 west of the 6th principal meridian, Morgan County, Colorado.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? Nope. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Quinlan,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes,
Yes.
Counselor Smith.
Yes.
Okay. Item B now, the first reading of annexation, ordinance number 838-15. So just, we need another, read it by title.
Need an introduction
Any-
first.
Okay. I need a counselor to introduce that.
By title or
title.
number only?
And read the title.
And read the
Title.
title, yeah, that title.
I would like to introduce the first reading organization ordinance number 838-15, an ordinance annexing certain incorporated lands located on southeast quarter of section 33, southwest quarter of section 34, township 4 north, range 56, west of the 6th principal meridian, Morgan County, Colorado, to the city of Brush.
All right. I have a motion to pass
I'll make a motion, we pass
that ordinance.
ordinance number 838-15.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Andrew, roll call.
Okay. Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Dykes,
Yes.
Counselor Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Quinlan.
Yes. Okay, on to item C, business item C, a public hearing. I'd like to open a public hearing regarding the application of the Morgan County for a special use permit for an ambulance building on 617 Hospital Road. Karen?
You have in front of you this evening an application from Morgan County, and they are requesting a special use permit to construct a new ambulance barn at 617 Hospital Road. The property is zoned residential low density. As noted at the very front of the staff report, a special use permit is a use that council finds essentially desirable to the community, but you wanted to be able to do some type of special review to ensure that it will be compatible with other uses in that area that it would be located. So this is that opportunity to do that level of review, and we'll be looking at compatibility, conformance with the comprehensive plan, and then the applicant's history of compliance with zoning regulations and other regs within the city. This property is a little over an acre in size, and it's located on the east side of Hospital Road, north of Emerson Street. This uses about 2/3 of a mile south of Interstate 76 and 1/3 of a mile north of Highway 34. Currently, the property is vacant, and has been for quite some time. Around this area, there's a number of single-family homes. Other items or uses in the area to note is Pioneer Park to the northwest. There is a fourplex residential dwelling unit to the north, and then the largest single landowner in the area appears to be Brush High School to the east. In fact, one of the entrances in and out of Brush High School is adjacent to the south property line of the subject property. In the staff report, I did make note of one item of history related to this property, that in 2006, a prior landowner had obtained permission from the city to subdivide the property into 3 parcels. That property owner never entered into the subdivision improvement agreement that was required in order to install infrastructure to serve all 3 of those proposed lots. And then, to date, enough time has passed and no action has been taken on that application, so that approval has long ago expired and is no longer a consideration. When you look at the area, Hospital Road is classified as a major collector, and it is one of the primary roads that carries traffic in and around Brush, specifically connects people out from Highway 34 out to the interstate. And it does carry a fairly good amount of volume of traffic through the community. And when you look at the city's comprehensive plan, this corridor along Hospital Road is identified as an employment area, and that's in recognition of that road's classification, the level of traffic and other potentially economic demands are going to be to develop more commercial type uses along that property, probably at some point in the future. I mean, right now you've got homes out there, but at some point there will likely be the demand to redevelop or set other types of uses there. The county's request is a new ambulance barn. They have a current facility at the corner of Edison and Custer Street, and they have outgrown that facility. And they highlighted in their application that within just this Brush district that they provide ambulance service to, in 2014 they had 954 calls for service. In your packet there is a site plan that shows how they would like to locate the building on the property. There are 2 access points in and out of the property. The primary one will be off of Hospital Road, and there is a smaller secondary access off of the high school access point to Hospital Road. Things were laid out in such a way that at a staff level, and which included review by Public Works and the Police Department, we were comfortable with the access points, the one on Hospital Road being as far north as possible, up closer to that northern property line, and then the other one off of the high school access. So that, and because of how the site's laid out in its size, they will not be backing ambulances up on Hospital Road itself, that they're able to do all of that repositioning of their vehicles on the site. A county has represented that they will be staffing this facility 24/7. There's also going to be a training area in addition to sleeping quarters for the staffing that'll be there. They've also taken care to design the building so that the facade is compatible with the existing residential uses in the neighborhood. Joked with the commissioners that we don't want a Quonset hut at that location. We need it to look like a nice building that does try to blend in with the neighborhood. And then they will also need a modest size sign out front just to identify the facility. As of the date of writing the staff report, and even as of today, I, here in City Hall, have not had any citizens contact me with questions or concerns regarding this facility, but I guess you've got a couple folks here in the audience tonight that will want to talk to you about some things. In looking at it, with regard to compatibility, we recognize that the ambulance barn at this location is a change for this neighborhood. It is already a busy area since Hospital Road is a major route through town. So it is anticipated that any impacts that you will see as a result of this new facility at this location, that they will be minimal to modest. So we recognize that there will be some change to the neighborhood. But because of its service to the community as a whole and the desired changes in this area in the future according to the comprehensive plan, that this appears to be workable. In the staff report, there's also a list of various strategies, policies, and goals in the comprehensive plan that support this particular proposal. One in particular talks about the need to provide public improvements that are designed and installed to deliver required service in a timely manner. And then with regard to the applicant's compliance history, to date, they've made a good faith effort to comply with all city, state, and federal regulations, and there's no zoning violations with the city. So in conclusion, staff has identified 2 conditions that would, items to note, and that should council find that the proposal meets the review criteria, we recommend that the special use permit be granted for the ambulance barn at 617 Hospital Road, with the notation that the burdens and benefits of the special use permit are deemed to be personal to the original applicant. And then secondarily, the driveway on the site must be constructed of asphalt, concrete, or a similar material. This will help with not having a lot of gravel or other road debris, tracked out onto Hospital Road, and just help with overall traction and keeping the road in a safe condition. So, questions?
I've got one question. In regards to the property, I saw on the site plan where the building lies, but is the property line to the neighbors, is there gonna be a fence or some type of visual block or landscaping? Or is there just gonna be one property owner and then there?
I think the property to the north already has a fence up. But Commissioner Zwetzig, who's the person I've been dealing with throughout this application, he and I hadn't, at least not to my recollection, had previously talked about a fence along there. So that's what I know at the moment. I think there's already one in place that belongs to the neighbor to the north.
Okay. Commissioners, that's where are you ready to give your presentation, or? Now we have the applicant presentation.
Good evening. My name is Laura Teague, Morgan County Commissioner, District 2. I also have with me Commissioner Jim Zwetzig, Commissioner 3 Commissioner, and I also have Joe King, our Director of our ambulance service. Karen did a very nice job outlining the plan and how we believe it also fits into Brush's comprehensive plan. A couple things that were not noted that are in our plan as commissioners, the current site on, that currently lies on Highway 34, that will either be repurposed for county needs or citizens' needs or sold. So that will, we do have plans for that facility, not direct, concise plans, but there is a outlet plan for that facility. Additionally, we have received a DOLA grant from, or a community block grant from DOLA to purchase, or to pay for half of the facility. We estimate the facility will cost around $400,000, and we have received a DOLA grant in the amount of $200,000. So our intent is, once the special use permit is, if it is approved, then we will proceed with procuring the contract through DOLA and initiate build out rather quickly. We have